For years, it was as important to football fans as their pie and Bovril. But souvenir matchday programs have hit such a sales slump that some clubs have axed them altogether. Some have already moved to digital alternatives, including offering supporters a PDF of the match details. One program editor revealed the number of fans buying the publications has plummeted from 1 in 3 to around 1 in 10. And experts are questioning whether they will continue to exist for anything other than the biggest games. Fans are lamenting the move to digital or, even worse, programs being scrapped. Image, SNS Group 0141-221-3602. Peter Rundo, a program dealer and Dundee United's program editor, said, "For many years, the main reason for a program seemed to be to list the day's games so fans could check halftime scores. That's obviously now a thing of the past and sales are down. When I first started in the 1980s, we were probably selling to around 1 in 3 supporters, albeit the team was doing very well at the time. Now we are maybe down to around the 1 in 10 figure. For some clubs, it's far less even than that. The number of collectors is also diminishing because programs are starting to disappear, and younger people just don't seem to read them as much. I don't think programs will ever disappear completely, especially for big games, such as cup finals, European games and internationals. People like a memento of the game, and we see people now looking for team sheets if there is no program. In my opinion, it's much easier and more pleasant to look up a program to find out how many games someone has played than to fiddle about with your phone." The irony is that programs now are bigger, more expansive and better produced than ever before. Program dealer Peter Rundo, Image, David Martin. Celtic and Rangers, Scotland's biggest clubs, regularly attract home crowds of around 50,000 fans. However, industry insiders says Celtic sell around 2,000 programs per match while Rangers shift approximately 4,000. The Ibrox club got a sales boost prior to their recent Europa League qualifier against FC Skopje when vendors sold around 7,000 copies. The attendance that night was over 49,000. Livingston FC, newly promoted to the SPFL, last season moved their program online so fans can download it, while Ross County scrapped theirs entirely. This season, Inverness will provide an internet version, while Queen's Park and Brecon have also stopped issuing one. Stenhousemuir and East Fife rely on versions put together by fans groups. Fans have lamented the decline while experts say programs were vital for preserving information on club histories. Programs for several Scottish clubs exist from before the Second World War, but routine issuing by most began when paper rationing ended in the years after the end of the conflict. Inverness commercial manager Jim Oliver said, "It's our intention to move to an online version of the matchday program as of this season. We're also looking at how we can make printed copies available to fans as well." Printed programs are less popular than they used to be. Image, SNS, Brecon City Secretary Grant Hood said, "The club has taken the decision this season to withdraw programs entirely. It's loss-making and our fans' demand is for instant information rather than views around the club well in advance of a match day." Interestingly, when we stopped a few seasons ago, the majority of complaints were from fans who didn't attend games, such as enthusiasts or collectors. Arbroath FC Secretary Gary Callan said, "It's becoming more difficult to justify a program due to printing costs and the number sold at each match. We thought about withdrawing a few seasons ago, but we're fortunate that a company took it on at a very reasonable price. Without this, it wouldn't be viable." Others vowed to stick by their programs, while some clubs emphasized a printed program is superior to the internet as a means of documenting the club's history. Douglas Alsop, Airdrie commercial director, said, "We find 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 fans buys a program. We nearly dumped them 2 years ago under a previous regime as we found them to be loss-making. But since then, we've had a massive swing and now make a 4-figure profit each year. This is down to a number of local advertisers who maybe cannot afford track boards, a much better sales force and good articles. We'll look to a digital version going forward, but there's still very much a demand for match programs. There's the official Matchday program. But for how long? Image, PA, Edinburgh City Director Alec Milne, who has edited the club's match program since 2009, said, "We've always been keen on match programs both as a means of informing and entertaining our supporters, and to show appreciation for our advertisers and various sponsors. There are items which appear in our program which are not on social media and vice versa. A paper copy is a permanent historical record, while information stored online can be lost if an account is transferred, a webmaster moves on, or a password is lost." Phil Nicholson, editor last season at Raith Rovers, estimated program sales at the club were down by around a third in recent seasons. He said, "I definitely think there's a significant place for a printed matchday program going forward, especially around the lower leagues. The chances of historic club website content still being available in 10, 20 or 50 years is probably unlikely. Therefore, that interview with the club groundsman or some random central midfielder will probably disappear forever if not for the printed version. It's part of the fabric of the smaller club's history." The Scottish Football Museum at Hampden Park includes programs for the 1960 Eintracht v Real Madrid European Cup final and the Lisbon Lions 1967 European Cup final among its collection of cherished mementos. Assistant curator Demi Boyd said, "Programs have been a core part of the fan experience of a match day for many decades. However, it's important for clubs to look at how fans are engaging with information and to react to it. I'm not sure if turning solely to social media rather than producing programs is inclusive for every generation of fan and may make information inaccessible to some." The SPFL said, "There is no obligation in the rules for clubs to produce a matchday program.